Hey guys, Jake and Sarah Salyer here with another episode of At Our Kitchen Table with Hearth Homes. Today we want to talk about moving.
Tips.
Yeah, how to make that easy. So in our marriage, we have moved, I think, 7 times.
Yep.
We are here to stay, though, for a while, longer than before. But what we have found is, so she's the queen of declutter. She's got kind of a timeline that if I haven't used it, she will just slowly exit it from my life. I never really feel the Band-Aid being ripped off. It's always sad when I'm like, hey, where's that shirt? And she says she threw it away, but the holes were great and it had grease on it and I need it to work in and it's ugly. So she's good at that.
You get a ping, you're like, hey, I think we want to move. Great. So we come and we have like a listing consultation with you, kind of look at the house, go over comps, things like that. That day, I leave you with what's called prepping your house for pictures to list. But in that, I always tell people there's a difference between show ready and picture ready.
Yeah.
During getting things ready for pictures, because that's the time you can take as long as you want to get the house ready. Going through your closets, if you haven't seen it for the last or used it in the last 3 to 6 months, depending on like decor, fall, seasonal, whatever, get rid of it. All the things that you're not daily using, like Christmas decorations or extra toys for the kids or anything that you've got stuffed up in closets or attics, start dragging all that stuff down. We love pods. We love pods.
Well,
we get a pod, put it in the driveway, start putting that stuff.
Or K-Box.
Or K-Box or whatever, the containers that sit in your
We have found that is the best way for us. Because that's super cool to watch. But they pick them up with 2 little machines, they load them, they're completely full. You can also, we've got a client right now that we're building a house for, and she purchased a Connex box. And those can be moved very similar. Yeah. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but they're expensive. I think it's $150 per month for your K-Box. So if you've got, a 45-day moving process, it's going to cost you $300 and then maybe a little bit more each time they move them, but it's awesome.
And then when it's the week of moving or the day of and you've got like your beds and your couches and things that you use every day, then you've maxed out that container. Now you can get a U-Haul.
You've maxed out that container slowly, not stressfully, because no one enjoys... It's
not a mad dash of throwing things in there.
Yeah, nobody enjoys moving.
No.
And so that's why we have enjoyed it on our end, because we'll start that, hey, we're closing in 40 days. Let's get that thing out here and start really transitioning things in there.
Gives you the time to pull all that stuff out, get in the container. Couple days before, you can rent a U-Haul truck trailer if you've no friends and get those last minute big items.
They've got friends, babe. They got plenty of friends. They're good. Friends don't want to help you move though. And people all like...
No, they don't.
You said if they've got friends.
If they have friends that want or are willing to help.
Somehow we've gotten our family to help us, and we've had some friends, but they're like, why don't you ask us? And my thing is, well, I have a pod, and I've got a wife, and we've been able to take our non-heavy or sometimes heavy.
But we've also done it way too many times than people.
We just don't want to. I always feel guilty about it. Your friends don't want to help you. People say there's pizza and beer. I don't want to do that.
We get a lot of questions about moving companies. Should we hire somebody to come in and pack your things? Me personally, I know those people are hired to do that. It is all preference. Do you trust that person to take your grandmother's heirlooms and pack them properly? I would not. However, there is people, like you can do those things yourself, but if you're like, I don't want to mess with the couches, or I don't want to call my friends or my family to mess with the couches, hey, can you guys come and just clean out the rest? And then, yes, I would absolutely recommend that.
We have recommendations for that.
Yeah.
So reach out to us on that if you want to know. I won't plug them here, but in general, what we have seen is in the nicest way possible, that is not an industry.
It's not they're not caring people. They don't care for your things. So
we know of companies that, hey, they are a little bit more delicate, take care of your things. So we'll reach out to us on that.
Yeah.
In general, it's just a stressful process.
Up that week of closing, we get a lot of sellers. They're like, hey, do I have to clean the house? Listen, we have always said this a million times. Everybody's version of clean is different. There is nowhere in the contract, unless a buyer specifically says, I want this place professionally cleaned. At that point, if you agreed upon that in the contract, then yes, You need to hire a company to come in and professionally clean it, and we have to present a copy of an invoice that it was done. However, I have some clients who are like, I would just feel awful if I didn't have somebody come in and clean it. Totally get it with you on that.
What her clean
Give it a once
and my
solution.
clean is very different.
Very different.
She's pretty clean. I think I'm pretty clean, but
Right.
not clean enough. So what we will say on that is, would you want to move into your version of a dirty house, whatever your version is? The answer is no. So just as a courtesy to whoever's purchasing your house, almost as a thank you, hey, we're going to give it a once over. We're going to wipe the floors, vacuum the floors, wipe the countertops down.
Wipe out the appliances. Don't leave your microwaves nasty. Don't
Doesn't have to be
yeah,
crazy, but it
yeah.
just has to be kind of how you would want it. So
Then there's some buyers who are just like, they don't care who you have do it. They're going to come in and clean it to their specifications.
yeah, they'll come in and go behind you. So
Yep.
just a good once over, to make it like you'd want it. I would say clean the bathrooms, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
With all that being said, we are going to thank you for watching this far and tell you to like, comment, subscribe. Hit us with any questions that you've got. If you need a moving company, reach out. We've got recommendations. We appreciate you guys watching another episode of At Our Kitchen Table with Hearth Homes. You guys have a great day.